Hey, I'm Eleanor Hayes, 68 years old, living in a cozy little ranch house in suburban Portland, Oregon. The kind of neighborhood where everyone knows your name and the mailman still waves hello. It's got a white picket fence out front, a rose garden I tend myself every spring, and a big maple tree in the backyard that turns the most beautiful shades of red and orange in the fall. I've been here for 42 years, raised my family in this house, planted those roses with my husband Richard the year we moved in. Richard passed 15 years ago from pancreatic cancer, fought hard for 2 years, but it took him at just 60. Broke my heart. Shattered it, really. But I kept going, for the kids. We had two. David, my oldest, at 42, and Sarah, 39. David's an accountant downtown, married to Karen, a real estate agent, with three grandkids. Little Emma, who's 10 and already a bookworm like her grandma, twins Jack and Lily, who are 7 and full of energy. Sarah's a high school English teacher, single, but dating a nice guy named Mark, who's a firefighter. She's always been my rock, my girl. We talk every day, sometimes twice. People always said we were the perfect family, close, supportive. After Richard died, the kids rallied around me. David handled the finances, set up automatic payments for bills, invested Richard's life insurance so I'd be comfortable. Sarah helped with the house, came over to cook meals, organize closets, drive me to appointments when I was grieving too hard to focus. I leaned on them. Of course I did. They were all I had left. But I wasn't helpless, far from it. I'm independent, always have been. Drove myself to book club every Tuesday at the library, where we argue over classics like Pride and Prejudice or the latest bestseller. Volunteered at the senior center on Thursdays, helping with bingo nights or computer classes for folks older than me who couldn't figure out email. Took a solo cruise to Alaska last year with my girlfriends from the garden club. Saw whales breaching, glaciers calving, came home with stories and souvenirs, feeling alive. Sharp as a tack, my doctor says. Annual checkups, always good. Blood pressure fine. Cholesterol managed with diet and walks around the neighborhood. I garden. Those roses win ribbons at the county fair some years. Cook for myself. Richard's recipes, Italian from his side. Bake cookies for the grandkids when they visit. The kids worried, sure. After the grief, they hovered a bit. Mom, let us help with the yard work. Mom, maybe slow down on the volunteering. I appreciated it, loved them for it. But lately, something shifted. It started small, innocent, I thought. A year ago, I forgot where I parked at the grocery store once, wandered the lot for 10 minutes, laughed it off, senior moment. Then mixed up a doctor's appointment, showed up a day early. The receptionist teased me gently. David noticed. Mom, maybe we should keep a shared calendar, just to help. Sarah, are you sleeping okay? Forgetting things can be stress. I brushed it off. I'm fine, kids, just busy. But the comments increased. Mom, are you sure you're okay driving at night? Karen asked after a family dinner. The roads are icy. I've been driving these roads for 40 years, I said with a laugh. Then the fall. Last winter, slippery back steps after rain. One misstep and down I went. Broke my hip, badly. Surgery, hospital stay, 6 weeks in rehab. The kids were saints. David coordinated everything with insurance. Sarah visited daily with books and gossip from school. Grandkids drew cards. Get well, Grandma. Rehab was hard. Physical therapy 3 times a week, learning to walk again. But I did it, stronger every day. Doctor said I'd make full recovery. Came home with a walker at first, then cane, then nothing. But the kids, they didn't ease up. David changed to locks. For safety, Mom, new keyless entry, easier for you. Sarah rearranged my kitchen, lower cabinets for things you use most, no reaching. Karen took my car for maintenance, brought it back with a GPS tracker in case of emergencies. I laughed. Kids, I'm not 90, but they exchanged looks. Then the talks started. Mom, have you thought about assisted living? Nice places nearby, with activities, meals provided. Or we could move in, help more. I shut it down. I love my house. I'm fine here. But they pushed. Gently, always gently. We're worried, Mom. The fall, the forgetfulness. I'm sharp, doctor said so. But their eyes, pity, concern. Then, one morning, a certified letter from a law firm, Brandt and Associates, petition for guardianship and conservatorship, filed by David Hayes and Sarah Hayes, against Eleanor Hayes. Grounds: incapacity due to cognitive decline and physical limitations. They were going to court to prove me incompetent to take control of my money, my home, my decisions. Hearing in 2 weeks. I stared at the papers, coffee forgotten. My own children, betraying me, without even asking, without letting me speak. The perfect family, shattered. And the real reason? I was about to find out. Something darker than concern.
The certified letter sat on my kitchen table like a bomb waiting to go off. I'd opened it with trembling hands, expecting maybe a notice from the HOA about the rose bushes overhanging the fence or something from Social Security. Instead, it was thick legal paper, official seal from Multnomah County Circuit Court, stamped and signed. Petition for appointment of guardian and conservator. Petitioners David Richard Hayes and Sarah Marie Hayes. Respondent Eleanor Marie Hayes. Me. My own children, filing to have me declared incompetent, seeking full guardianship over my person and conservatorship over my estate, control of my finances, my medical decisions, my home, everything. The hearing was set for 2 weeks from the date on the letter. Emergency temporary orders requested, meaning they could freeze my accounts, take my car keys, even move me out of my house before I had a chance to fight. I read it 3 times, coffee going cold beside me. The allegations? Cognitive decline evidenced by memory lapses, confusion, and recent physical injury requiring extended rehabilitation. Respondent poses risk to self and property due to inability to manage daily affairs independently. Memory lapses? The few times I'd forgotten keys or an appointment, normal at 68. The fall? Yes, broken hip, but I'd recovered fully. Doctor's notes attached, twisted from rehab, highlighting mild confusion during pain medication. Out of context. Witness statements from David, Sarah, even Karen. Mother has exhibited increasing forgetfulness, concerned about her safety driving, forgot grandkids' birthdays once. Lies, exaggerations. I called David first, phone shaking in my hand. He answered on the second ring. Mom, everything okay? What is this petition? My voice cracked. You're trying to declare me incompetent? Silence. Long. Then, Mom, we're worried. The fall, the forgetfulness. You're not yourself. I'm fine, recovered completely. Doctor said so. Dr. Battelle noted concerns. You talked to my doctor without me? We're family. We have to look out for you. By taking my rights away? It's not like that. Temporary, just to help manage things. Help or control? He sighed, that patient sigh I'd heard more lately. Mom, you're upset. We'll talk when you're calmer. He hung up. Called Sarah, straight to voicemail. Left a message. Call me, now. She called back an hour later, crying. Mom, we love you. This is for your safety. Safety? You're stripping my independence. You're not thinking clearly. The fall scared us. What if next time it's worse? I'm thinking clearly. This is betrayal. Please understand. We're doing what's best. Best for who? That afternoon, things escalated. Tried to pay bills online, accounts locked. Contact administrator. Called the bank. David had added himself as joint owner. For emergencies, the teller said. Drove to the grocery store. Car wouldn't start. Towed? No, keys disabled remotely. Karen picked it up earlier for servicing. Panic set in. Called my lawyer, the one who did Richard's will years ago. His secretary. I'm sorry, Mrs. Hayes. Mr. Brandt now represents your children. Conflict of interest. We can't speak with you. Brandt, the lawyer on the petition. My own children hired him first, blocked me from counsel. I wasn't allowed to speak. Not to my doctor, not to my bank, not to a lawyer. The silent warning was clear. They were isolating me, preparing to take everything. But why? Concern? Or something darker? I started watching closer. David's visits increased, just checking in. Caught him photographing my jewelry drawer, Mom's pearls, Richard's watch. Sarah rearranging important papers, organizing Mom. Karen asking about the house value, just curious for taxes. Then I found it. In David's old briefcase, he'd left it when dropping by. A draft trust. If conservatorship granted, assets transferred to a trust. Beneficiaries, David and Sarah. Immediate access. No waiting for inheritance. Richard's life insurance, $750,000. My retirement, $400,000. House, $600,000 equity. Over $1 million. They weren't waiting for me to die. They were forcing it now. Incompetent, powerless, silent. My own children. For money. The court date approached. I had no voice, no defense, but I wouldn't go quietly. Not yet.
The certified letter with the petition for guardianship and conservatorship sat on my kitchen table like a death sentence. I'd read it so many times, the paper was creased and soft, the legal jargon blurring through tears. My own children, David and Sarah, filing to have me declared incompetent, seeking full control over my finances, my medical decisions, even where I lived. Emergency temporary orders requested, meaning a judge could sign off without me even being there. Hearing in 2 weeks. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. The house that had been my sanctuary for 42 years felt like a cage closing in. Every creak of the floorboards reminded me of Richard walking the halls, checking on the kids when they were little. Now, those kids were checking on me, like I was the child. I called my best friend Marlene, widow like me, sharp as ever. "They're doing what?" she gasped over coffee at my kitchen table the next day. "Declaring me incompetent, taking everything. That's elder abuse, Eleanor. Call a lawyer." I tried. The lawyer who'd done Richard's will retired, recommended another. Called, left messages, no return call. Then the bank called. "Mrs. Hayes, your accounts have been restricted per joint owner request." David added himself without telling me. Tried to withdraw cash, declined. Car wouldn't start next morning, battery fine, but ignition disabled. Called AAA, towed to dealership. Karen picked it up earlier for servicing, returned with a tracker. Panic set in real. Called David again. "Unlock my accounts." "Mom, calm down. It's temporary until the hearing." "Temporary? You're stealing my life." "We're protecting you." "From what? Living?" He sighed. "You're not thinking clearly." Sarah, same, crying. "We love you, Mom. This is hard for us too." Hard for them? I started noticing more. David's visits increased, always with excuses. Checking the furnace, bringing groceries. Caught him in my office, old desk where I kept files, photographing documents, insurance policies, deeds. "David, what are you doing?" "Just organizing, Mom, for your safety." Karen, asking about jewelry. "That pearl necklace, family heirloom, value?" Sarah, rearranging drawers, important papers in one place. Then I found it. David left his laptop open one day, forgot it when he rushed out. Snooped, couldn't help it. Emails to Brandt, the lawyer. Subject, trust draft. Attached, document. Revocable trust. My assets transferred upon incapacity declaration. Beneficiaries, David and Sarah. Immediate access upon court order. No waiting for death. House sale proceeds split. Investments liquidated if needed for care. Richard's life insurance already in accounts they controlled. Motive clear. Greed, not concern. The fall, accident. Forgetfulness, exaggerated. All to build a case for money. Over $1 million. My independence for their inheritance. Now, I confronted them. Sunday dinner, forced it, cooked Richard's favorite roast, sat them down after, laid the trust printout on the table. Is this why? Silence. Karen looked away. Sarah teared up. David, face hardened. "Mom, it's planning for your care. My care or your payday. That's unfair," Sarah whispered. "Unfair? You're stealing my life." David, "You're confused, emotional. This proves you need help. Proves you need money." Karen,
Eleanor, calm down. I stood, shaking. Get out. They left. No more visits. Court date, 3 days. Accounts frozen. Car gone. Phone monitored? Felt like it. I called legal aid, senior hotline. Abuse, they said. Financial exploitation. Get a lawyer. But how? No money. Public guardian office, long wait. I was trapped, silent, no voice. My children, for greed. The hearing loomed. I wasn't allowed to speak, but I would, somehow. The hidden motives exposed. But would anyone listen before it was too late?
The morning of the hearing dawned gray and drizzly, typical Portland winter, the kind that seeps into your bones and makes everything feel heavier. I dressed carefully, my navy suit from Richard's funeral, pearls he'd given me for our 30th anniversary, hair pinned back neatly, looked competent, put together, not the confused elderly woman they were painting me as. David picked me up, insisted, "For support, Mom." Sarah in the passenger seat, eyes red like she'd been crying. No one spoke on the drive downtown. The courthouse loomed, big concrete building on Southwest 4th, flags limp in the rain. Inside, sterile, fluorescent lights buzzing. We sat in the waiting area, me alone on one bench, them together across the hall with Mr. Brandt, sharp suit and briefcase, whispering. No lawyer for me, tried legal aid, waitlist, senior services, too late for this hearing. Temporary orders can be granted ex parte, the hotline said, meaning without me present. But I was here. The courtroom was small, wood paneling, American flag, judge's bench high and imposing. Judge Ramirez, older Latina woman, glasses, expression neutral. Court reporter typing, bailiff calling order. David and Sarah at petitioner's table with Brandt. Me, respondent's table, alone. No chair for counsel. Judge Ramirez scanned the file. This is the petition for emergency temporary guardianship and conservatorship of Eleanor Hayes. Petitioners David Hayes and Sarah Hayes allege incapacity due to cognitive decline and physical limitations following a hip fracture. Request immediate orders. Brandt stood, smooth voice. Your Honor, the respondent has exhibited increasing confusion, memory lapses, and poses risk to self and estate. We have affidavits from family, medical notes from rehabilitation indicating mild cognitive impairment, and evidence of financial mismanagement. He presented stack of papers. Doctor's notes, twisted from rehab, focusing on confusion during pain meds. Witness statements, David, Sarah, Karen, forgot grandkids' names, left stove on. Lies, exaggerations. Bank records, late payments after the fall when I was in rehab. Photos, my house cluttered, steps hazardous. Judge looked at me. Mrs. Hayes, do you have counsel? No, Your Honor, I couldn't afford one. They froze my accounts. Brandt, standard to prevent asset dissipation. Judge frowned. Mrs. Hayes, you may speak if you wish, briefly. I stood, legs shaky. Your Honor, I'm not incompetent. The fall was an accident. Wet steps. I've recovered fully. Drive myself, manage my home, volunteer. These memory lapses are normal aging, exaggerated. They've frozen my accounts, taken my car, changed locks, all before this hearing. Brandt interrupted. Your Honor, the respondent is not represented and may not be competent to speak on her own behalf. Judge, Mr. Brandt, let her finish. I continued, voice stronger. They want control of my estate, over $1 million, house, savings, insurance. Drafted a trust, beneficiaries them, immediate access upon incapacity. Gasps from Sarah. David, face red. Brandt, irrelevant speculation, Your Honor. Judge, Mrs. Hayes, do you have evidence? In my purse, trust draft, I found. Brandt, objection, hearsay. Judge allowed, briefly. I showed, printout. Judge scanned, frowned deeper. This is concerning, allegations of financial motive. Brandt, coincidence, planning for care. Judge, temporary orders denied pending full hearing. Mrs. Hayes retains control until then. Accounts unfrozen. Full evidentiary hearing in 60 days. Gavel.
David and Sarah, stunned. I walked out, free, for now. But the war started. They appealed, tried emergency stay. Denied. I hired Mr. Patel, senior legal aid. Abuse, he said. We fight. 60 days. To prove I wasn't incompetent, while they proved they were greedy. The courtroom wasn't the end. It was the beginning. My voice heard. Finally. But the fight? Just starting.
The judge's denial of temporary orders felt like a lifeline thrown in a storm, thin but there. I walked out of the courtroom that rainy Portland morning with my head high, but inside, terrified. The full hearing was 60 days away. 60 days where David and Sarah still had partial control, accounts unfrozen but monitored, car returned but with safety restrictions. They'd appealed the denial immediately, Brandt filing motions for reconsideration, but Judge Ramirez held firm. Full evidentiary hearing, all parties present. I wasn't silent anymore, but the war, it went underground. Silent, cold. David and Sarah didn't yell, didn't fight, just withdrew. No calls, no visits, grandkids' photos stopped coming, Emma's school play, the twins' soccer games. Sarah texted once, "We're giving you space, as requested." Space? Isolation. Karen, once dropping by with casseroles, gone. Neighbors noticed. "Haven't seen the kids around, Eleanor." "Busy," I'd say, smile tight. I hired Mr. Patel, pro bono through senior legal aid. Sharp young lawyer, Indian American, kind eyes but fierce. First meeting at a coffee shop downtown, neutral ground. "This is textbook elder financial abuse," he said, scanning the petition, trust draft, bank records. "Exploitation. We'll fight for full dismissal, maybe countersue for damages." Damages. The word sat heavy. My own children. We built the case. Medical, new evaluation. Dr. Chen, geriatric specialist. Full cognitive tests. Mrs. Hayes is fully competent. Normal aging, no impairment. Neighbors, affidavits. Eleanor drives safely, manages her home independently, volunteers weekly. Friends from book club, garden club, senior center. Statements. Sharp as ever, remembers every plot twist. Bank, pre-fall records, perfect. Late payments only during rehab when David had power of attorney temporarily. The trust, drafted months before the fall. Brandt's firm, conflict clear. Motive? Greed. Patel subplanned everything. David's finances, business loans, Karen's real estate deals struggling, Sarah's credit cards, overspending. Hints emerged. David's firm, layoffs rumored. Karen's listings slow in market downturn. Sarah, student loans, helping Mark with house down payment. They needed money. Now. The silent war escalated. Mail lost, bills not forwarded. Groceries I ordered online canceled. Phone calls to friends. Mom's resting, call later. Isolation tactics. I fought back. Changed passwords, new accounts, secret. Stayed with Marlene a few nights. Girls' trip. Documented everything. Journal, photos, recordings when legal. Grandkids. Heartbreak. Emma called once whispering, "Grandma, why can't we visit?" "Soon, sweetie. Love you." Tears. Patel, "We're strong. They're desperate." Desperate people do desperate things. One night, middle of the 60 days, woke to noise downstairs. Heart pounding, grabbed Richard's old baseball bat from the closet, crept down. Shadow, moving. David. In my office. Flashlight, rifling drawers. "David!" He spun, guilty. "Mom, I was checking for leaks, rainstorm." At 2 a.m.? Lies. Called police, trespass. He left before they arrived. Report filed. More evidence. The war wasn't silent anymore. It was open, ugly. My children against me. For money. The hearing approached. I was ready to speak. Finally, fully. No more silence. The truth out. Whatever the cost.
The 60 days after Judge Ramirez denied the temporary orders felt like a battlefield with no clear front lines, just constant skirmishes, silent but brutal. David and Sarah didn't give up. They appealed the denial, filed motions for reconsideration, claiming I was a flight risk or might dissipate assets. Brandt, their lawyer, was relentless. Papers served, hearings scheduled for minor issues. Each time, Mr. Patel countered, and the judge held firm. Full evidentiary hearing in 60 days. No changes until then. But they had ways to make life hell without official orders. My mails started disappearing, bills, statements. Called the post office, nothing wrong. Then found redirected mail notices in David's name for safety. Groceries I ordered online, canceled without my knowledge. Delivery drivers turned away at the door by Sarah, visiting. Phone calls to friends, mom's resting, doctor's orders. Isolation, classic tactic. I fought back quietly. Changed passwords, everything, new email, secret bank account at a different branch, small deposits from cash I'd hidden years ago. Stayed with Marlene some nights, girls' sleepover, told no one. Documented everything, journal with dates, times, photos, voice recordings when legal, Oregon one-party consent. Mr. Patel was gold, subpoenaed records early. David's business loans, heavy debt from expansion gone wrong, Karen's real estate listings, market slump, commissions dried up, Sarah's credit cards, maxed, helping Mark with his mom's medical bills. Motive? Clearer every day. Greed masked as concern. The grandkids? My biggest pain. Emma called once, whispering from her room, "Grandma, why can't we come over? Daddy says you're sick." "I'm not sick, sweetie, just grown-up stuff. I love you." "Love you too." Click. Tears. Jack and Lily sent drawings, crayon houses with "We miss you, Grandma." Sarah delivered them, face tight. "They drew these for you." No visit. The silent war turned uglier. One night, middle of the 60 days, woke to noise downstairs. 2 a.m., heart pounding, grabbed Richard's old baseball bat from under the bed. Crept down, slow, quiet, shadow in the office. David. Flashlight beam on my file cabinet, rifling drawers. "David!" He spun, guilty, flashlight blinding. "Mom, what are you doing up?" "What are you?" "I thought I heard something, checking for intruders." At 2 a.m. with gloves? Lies. Called the police, non-emergency, report filed, trespass. He left before they arrived, claiming concern for my safety. More evidence. Patel, this helps us, harassment. They countered, motion for supervised contact only, denied. But the stress, sleepless nights, weight loss, anxiety I'd never had. Doctor visit, new one. Blood pressure up. Stress-related, she said. Prescribed meds. They used it. See, declining health. The truth emerged piece by piece. Patel uncovered more. Brandt's firm, history of conservatorship cases for wealthy elders, high fees. David's emails to Brandt, need this fast, business loans due. Sarah's, mom's house would sell quick, pay off debts. Greed, plain. The 60 days crawled. I prepared. Witness list, neighbors, friends, doctor, volunteer coordinator, evidence binder, thick. Medical report, clean. Financials, perfect before their interference. The truth? They weren't protecting me. They were preying on their own mother for money. The hearing approached. I was ready to speak, fully. No more silence. The truth, out, whatever the cost. Family or enemies? The courtroom would decide, but I knew. The real incapacity? Theirs. Moral. The full evidentiary hearing finally arrived after 60 days that felt like a lifetime. 60 days of silent warfare, isolation tactics, and building my case brick by brick with Mr. Patel. The courtroom was the same sterile space in downtown Portland, but packed this time. Family, friends, even a reporter from the local paper who'd caught wind of the elder abuse angle. Judge Ramirez presided again, stern, fair, her glasses perched on her nose as she reviewed the thick files both sides had submitted. I sat at the respondents' table with Mr. Patel, sharp suit, calm presence. David and Sarah at the petitioner's side with Brandt, looking polished but strained. Karen in the gallery, grandkids not present, too young for this mess. Judge Ramirez opened.
This is the full hearing on the petition for guardianship and conservatorship of Eleanor Hayes. We have extensive evidence from both sides. Petitioners allege incapacity. Respondent contests. We'll hear testimony. Brandt went first. Smooth, confident. Your Honor, the petitioners, Mrs. Hayes's children, act out of love and concern. The respondent suffered a serious hip fracture requiring extended rehabilitation. Medical notes indicate mild cognitive impairment. Family observations, memory lapses, confusion, financial mismanagement. We seek guardianship to ensure her safety and proper care. He called witnesses. Sarah first, tearful on the stand. My mom's always been independent, but after the fall, she forgot appointments, left the stove on once. We're scared she'll hurt herself. Cross. Patel, gentle but firm. When did these memory lapses start? After the fall. Before? Any doctor diagnosis of dementia? No, but... Objection. Brandt. Sustained. David next. Composed. We love our mother. We just want her safe. Assisted living would be best. No worries about bills, maintenance. Patel cross. Mr. Hayes, your business, recent loans, financial pressure? David flushed. Irrelevant. Judge, overruled. Answer. Some debt, normal for expansion. Patel presented bank records, David's loans, Karen's slow real estate market. Then the trust draft, pre-fall. Your Honor, Patel said, petitioners drafted this trust months before the injury. Beneficiaries? Themselves. Immediate access upon incapacity declaration. Gasps in the gallery. Brandt. Planning for future care. Judge's eyes narrowed. Karen testified. Nervous. Eleanor's house is too big. Hazardous. Patel. You photographed her jewelry? For insurance inventory. My turn. I stood steady. Your Honor, I'm Eleanor Hayes, 68, widowed, independent. The fall was an accident, wet steps. I recovered fully. Doctor's report. Patel submitted Dr. Chen's evaluation. No cognitive impairment, fully competent. Neighbors testified, Mrs. Jenkins, Eleanor drives me to church every Sunday, sharp as ever. Library volunteer coordinator, runs book club flawlessly. Friends, gardens, cooks, travels alone. Financials, perfect records pre-help. Patel, petitioners exaggerated, isolated respondent, froze accounts, disabled car, redirected mail. Motive, financial gain, over $1 million in assets. David and Sarah, faces pale. Judge, this court sees concern, but also exploitation. The trust, pre-injury, isolation tactics, no medical evidence of incapacity. She paused. Petition denied, in full. Accounts remain with respondent. No guardianship, no conservatorship. Further, petitioners ordered to pay respondent's legal fees. Restraining order, petitioners contact only through counsel for 6 months. Gavel. Silence. Then cheers from my side. David stunned. Mom. I stood. Walked out. No words. Free. The verdict wasn't just denial, it was vindication. My voice heard. Finally. Loud, clear. They went to court to prove me incompetent. Failed, because I wasn't. And now, they faced consequences. The truth? Out. Healing? Maybe. Someday. But on my terms.
The verdict came down like a thunderclap that cleared the storm clouds. Judge Ramirez's gavel hit the bench, and the courtroom held its breath for one long second before she spoke. After reviewing the evidence, this court finds no basis for guardianship or conservatorship. The respondent, Eleanor Hayes, is fully competent. The petition is denied in its entirety. All temporary restrictions are lifted. Petitioners are ordered to pay respondents' legal fees and any damages incurred from the improper freezing of assets. Case dismissed. The words echoed in the silent room. David's face went white. Sarah covered her mouth. Karen looked like she might faint. Brandt stood up quickly, whispering furiously to them, but the judge was already standing, robes swishing as she left the bench.
I sat there, stunned. Mr. Patel squeezed my shoulder. "You did it, Eleanor." I stood slowly, legs shaking, and walked out without looking back. The hallway was chaos. Reporters from the local paper, someone had tipped them off, were waiting, cameras flashing. "Mrs. Hayes, how do you feel? Will you sue your children?" I kept walking, head high. Mr. Patel shielded me. No comment. Outside, the rain had stopped. Sun broke through. I breathed, really breathed, for the first time in months. The truth was out. I wasn't incompetent. They had tried to steal my life, and they'd failed. The aftermath hit fast. Accounts unfrozen that same day. Bank called personally. "We're so sorry, Mrs. Hayes." Car returned, no tracker. House still mine. I changed the locks again. New keys, new security system, cameras, alarm, no more visits without permission. The kids didn't call, not for weeks. Then Sarah did, crying, "Mom, we're sorry." I listened. "We were wrong, scared, thought we were helping. You were stealing." Silence. "We know, we're ashamed." David called next, voice small. "Mom, I messed up. We all did." "I know. I lost the business, loans defaulted, Karen's listings dried up. We were desperate." "Desperate enough to take from your mother?" "Yes, I hate myself for it." I didn't forgive instantly. Forgiveness takes time. We started slow. Coffee, neutral ground. They apologized again and again. No excuses. I was greedy, David admitted, scared of losing everything. "Sarah, I wanted to help you, but I hurt you instead." I listened, then spoke. "I love you both, always will, but trust is broken. We rebuild slowly. Boundaries strict. No money, no decisions. Visits scheduled, supervised at first. Grandkids, Emma hugged me tight. "Grandma, we missed you." "I missed you too, sweetheart." They came for Christmas, first time in years. Small gathering, my condo, tree, presents, laughter. Not perfect, but real. Therapy together, family sessions, learning, trust. Apology wasn't one word, it was actions. David paid my legal fees, every penny. Sarah helped with the garden, asked first. Karen stayed quiet, learned. The apology changed everything. I wasn't the victim anymore. I was the survivor, stronger, wiser, loving them from a distance with boundaries. The perfect family never was, but healing possible. One honest conversation at a time. The apology wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something real, something true, something mine, finally. The verdict in that Portland courtroom didn't just deny the petition. It handed me back my life on a silver platter, wrapped with a bow of vindication. Judge Ramirez's words still rang in my ears weeks later. "No basis for incapacity. Petition denied. Petitioners pay fees and damages." David and Sarah sat stunned as the gavel fell, their perfect plan crumbling like a house of cards in the wind. Brandt, their lawyer, packed his briefcase with tight lips, muttering about appeals that never came. Too much evidence of exploitation, Patel told me later. The judge's order was ironclad. I walked out free. Accounts unfrozen the same day. Bank manager called personally, apologizing profusely. Car keys returned, no tracker. House, still mine, no forced sale. I changed every lock again. Added cameras, a security system with motion lights that lit up the driveway like a stadium. No more surprise visits. The kids, my kids, didn't call for a month. Silence. Grandkids' drawings stopped coming. No photos from Emma's school play, the twins' soccer games. It hurt, deeper than the courtroom betrayal. But I didn't chase. Therapy with Dr. Vasquez, weekly, unpacked the grief, the fear, the anger. "You're not the villain here," she said. "You're the survivor." I leaned on friends, Marlene, the book club ladies, senior center volunteers. Coffee dates turned into support sessions. "You're strong, Eleanor," they said, "stronger than they know." Mr. Patel filed countersuit, elder abuse, financial exploitation, emotional distress. Settled out of court. David and Sarah paid my fees, damages, even therapy costs.
No admission of guilt, but money spoke. They needed it. David's business folded quietly, Karen's real estate slowed to a crawl, Sarah's teaching job safe, but stress lines deeper. First contact, Sarah. Email, tentative. Mom, can we talk? Coffee, neutral cafe downtown. She looked thinner, eyes red. I'm sorry, she said immediately. We were wrong, scared, stupid. Scared of what? Losing you, like Dad. But money too. We were drowning, thought this was easier. Easier than asking? She nodded, cried. David joined later, separate meeting. Lost everything, Mom. Business, savings. Karen left. My heart ached for the boy he was, but not forgiveness yet. Boundaries first. No money, no decisions, visits scheduled. They agreed. Grandkids, slow reintroduction. Emma first, ice cream date. Hugged me tight. Grandma, I missed you. Missed you more, sweetie. Twins next, park play date. Jack, why didn't you come to our games? Grown-up stuff, but I'm here now. Healing, slow. Family therapy. Dr. Vasquez recommended group. We went. David said, I was greedy, ashamed. Sarah said, I followed David, weak. Me said, you hurt me, deeply, but I love you. Tears, hugs. No instant fix, but progress. They paid damages, helped rebuild my savings. Sarah visited weekly, helped garden, asked permission. David fixed things around the house. If you want, Mom. I did. Grandkids, regular now. Sleepovers, cookies baked together. Emma said, you're the best grandma. The new normal. Independent. Me. House mine, finances mine, decisions mine. Love on my terms. No more helping. Just being. Family. Real family. They learned. I learned. The new normal? Freedom. With love. Boundaries? Healing. The perfect family? Never. But real. Stronger because of the pain. The truth. The fight. I won. My life. My voice. My way. The new normal. Beautiful in its imperfection.
2 years have passed since that courtroom verdict in Portland handed me back my life. And some days I still wake up expecting the nightmare to start again. The frozen accounts, the changed locks, the fear that my own children saw me as nothing more than a burden to be managed, or worse, an inheritance to be claimed early. I'm 70 now, 70 and thriving in ways I never imagined at 68. The rose garden out front is fuller than ever, those hybrid teas blooming like they know I'm finally at peace. The maple in the back turns that fiery red every fall, and I sit on the porch with coffee watching it, Buddy at my feet, gray muzzle and all, still my faithful companion. The house is mine again, fully, completely. No more safety changes. I repainted the kitchen a soft yellow, Richard's favorite color, and turned David's old room into a guest suite with a daybed for when the grandkids visit. Sarah's old room became my craft space, quilting, painting, things I'd always meant to do but put off for family duties. The kids, David and Sarah, they're part of my life again, but different, better in some ways. David's business didn't survive the fallout, folded quietly 6 months after the hearing. He and Karen divorced, she took the house, he moved to a small apartment. He works as an accountant for a nonprofit now, steady, less stress. Comes over every other Sunday, fixes things around the house, mows the lawn in summer, asks permission first. If you want, Mom. We talk. Real talk. About greed, fear, the pressure he felt after Richard died to be the man of the family. I was drowning, he admitted one afternoon over coffee on the porch. Thought taking control was helping you, helping us. It hurt, I said. Deeply. I know. I'm sorry. Every day. Sarah, teaching still. Mark proposed last year. They're married now. Small ceremony at a park. I was invited. Sat in the front row. Cried happy tears. She visits weekly, helps with the garden, brings Mark sometimes. They're trying for a baby. I was weak, she said, hands dirty from weeding roses. Followed David, scared of money troubles, scared of losing you too. You almost did. I know. We're better now. Grandkids, my joy.
Emma, 12 now, teenager attitude starting, comes for sleepovers, bakes with me, talks about boys and school drama. The twins, 9, wild. Soccer games, dinosaur obsessions. Jack calls me Coach Grandma because I cheer loudest. They know bits, age appropriate. Grandma was sick, but she's strong now. Healing wasn't linear. First year, hard. Holidays, tense. Visits, short. Therapy, family sessions. Dr. Vasquez retired. New one, Dr. Kim. Unpacked generations. My parents' worries after immigrating, Richard's sudden death, my clinging. I thought love meant holding tight, I said. Love means letting go, Dr. Kim replied. Boundaries strict at first. No money talks, no advice unless asked. They paid damages, every penny, rebuilt my savings. David sold his fancy car, Sarah took extra tutoring jobs. Consequences, real. Now, new normal. Visits, welcomed. Holidays, together. My house or theirs. Love, freer. No guilt, no control. I travel. Cruised to the Caribbean with Marlene last spring, booked an Alaska repeat next year. Volunteer, senior center, teaching computer classes. If Eleanor can fight the system and win, so can we, one lady said. Dating? Coffee with a widower from church, George. Nice, slow, no rush. Life? Mine. The lesson? They went to court to prove me incompetent, tried to silence me, take my voice, my life, for greed, masked as love. But I spoke, fought, won. They thought I was weak, old, incompetent. I was strong, always. The perfect family? Myth. But real family? Possible. With truth, boundaries, forgiveness, earned. I'm Eleanor Hayes, 70, free, alive, loving my children, my way. The lesson? Hard, painful, but mine, and worth every fight, every tear, every victory. I wasn't incompetent. I was awakening. And now I'm soaring.